This is the Eye for an Eye channel. Welcome to today's show. I just wanted to remind everybody and do one last video and give warnings and things that you can do in regards to the text message that's getting sent. Well, really what it is a frequency pulse that's being sent through your phone, your television, and your radio, which means stay away from your technology. I've warned about it for years. Now, before I get into deep detail, again, you see a lot of the people commenting in the videos, they do not listen. They just see the title, and then they just hear the tone of my voice, and they're like, oh man, October 5th is going to come and go, and people aren't going to be foaming at the mouth, and everything's going to be perfectly fine. These people are crazy. Because if they don't see it the instant that people say it, and if they don't listen to what people are actually saying, then they just create this whole hysteria in their own mind. There is a lot to be worried about here. Number one, it's a unique pulse that's being sent. This is not a text message. There's a unique frequency that's being sent through your phone. They're even admitting to it. I'll play you the clip right out of FEMA talking about this. FEMA, I don't know if I could say the word with the algorithm, but I'll say it anyway. They're talking about directly sending a unique message. This is going to be something you haven't heard before, a weird type of sound with a vibration. So frequency and a pulse is going to be sent. Now, on the website, uprisingrevival.com, I go into more detail and show you some clips of things that you need to know about that you can't talk about here, okay, about the Marburg virus, what's inside people's bodies. I can't go into any further detail than that because it's an auto strike, okay? So I know people are like, well, do it anyway, take the strike. I can't, because why would I, just take a strike for no reason and take a strike? If you want the content, go over to the website, uprisingrevival.com, and obviously you could research this stuff yourself by other means. You don't need me to be the voice for it unless you like my voice or you want to hear me talk about it. It's over on the website. So this video is to, again, prepare you for what to do. I'll tell you exactly what I'm doing, okay? And you could follow suit or you don't have to. A lot of you, I don't know where you live, what your living situation is. If you rent a home or you own a home, I highly recommend that you turn the power off for the hour. Now, I know that sounds extreme, but in addition to turning off your phone and taking the battery out, and I know a lot of people are putting their phones in Faraday bags, etc., I recommend just turning the power off. Why? Because of other things inside of the of your home, okay? Other types of pulses, other types of things that could be, look, people are saying, all right, I'm going to do the phone, then I'm going to unplug all the TVs and unplug the microwaves. It's turn the power off then, if that's what you're planning on doing. And that's what I'm doing. Now, during that time period, I'm just going to, probably go outside. I probably might stay in my basement, which is underground, where I don't have to worry about any frequencies anyway. And while the power's out, I'll probably just work on some of the stuff that I've been working on and go through some of the things that I have saved for a survival situation. Now, people out there are going to listen to this and they're thinking I'm talking about zombies coming to my door and all this stuff because they just don't listen. Okay, I'm not saying zombies are coming to your door. Something's being activated inside of these people's bodies, period. Okay, how often have I come on here and told you about a date and said that this or that is going to specifically happen? Never. How many times have I warned you about false things? All the time. I do fully believe in my heart that this is the activation of the oxide. I've said it for years. I've talked about it for years. I've been thrown off of these channels hundreds of times already because I've talked not only about that, but many other things. Okay? I'm not trying to cause fear. I'm not trying to cause panic. I'm trying to make sure that you're okay, safe, and aware. Now, I don't expect you to see results from this today. So people will come. They will troll. I couldn't care less. I couldn't care less, and you shouldn't either. They don't understand. Look at trending on Twitter is zombie. Look at some of the stuff that some of the actual zombies are posting. They're excited about it. They're excited about it, but they won't be when they realize what exactly Marburg is and what exactly IP 636 is. Really, because that's what it is, right? It's it's IP36, but P16, the alphabetically numerology is 6, so it's 636. Go figure, right? 11636. Which is a chromosome deletion syndrome, which literally would cause people to be, I forget what the politically correct word is, but let's just say like when you see the zombie apocalypse in Philadelphia and these other places and they claim it's fentanyl, you'll be seeing that from these people who have something activated in them as well. It possibly could be activated with it. So people out there are going to comment and say those types of things. So what I'm doing is that. Now what I recommend you do, because people out there, I don't know what a Faraday bag is or a Faraday cage, et cetera, just turn your phone off. Take the battery out of the phone, okay? Put the phone away from wherever you're going to be. Don't be in the room with it, okay? If you could put it outside, put it outside. Make sure you don't have extra phones in the house or anything like that. If you have a family member and they think you're crazy, just be like, look, I'm feeling really nervous. Just blame it on me. Say you have anxiety from some crazy YouTuber. Could they do that for you for an hour? Now, they're probably going to say no because most of these people can't be away from their phones for an hour. So maybe stay away from that person. Now, if you know somebody who's potion, obviously what you want to do is warn them, right? But these people, again, if it doesn't happen in immediate time, They will not believe it. They will think that this is funny, and they're all joking, like I said, writing stuff like, I can't wait to get it today. I can't wait to turn into a zombie. What am I going to wear? I'm ready to zombie out. If you're touching that specific tree at 2:20 day, you'll be safe from turning into a zombie, but then you'll be seriously outnumbered by the zombie. What time do they activate? I want to wear pants as a zombie. So this is the mindset of these people, right? They're narcissistic. They're so over the top. And of course, we know the elites have people are like, why would they kill those people? They love them. The elites don't give a crap about these people. They're disposing of these people, and these people are willingly doing it to themselves. So here's a guy. Personally, I'm looking forward to turning into a zombie today at 2:20 Eastern. Anyone else? All right, so it's 2:20. I mean, this is what we're living among, right? Now, I mentioned on the website, if this was an event involving schools and you know what, and there was a person you were suspicious of, and and you didn't call the police and it happened, everybody would be like, why didn't you call the police? But if you did call the police and stop it from happening, nobody would have known it would have happened because you would have stopped the guy and everyone would have been like, oh, he wasn't really going to do it. Why'd you bother and waste the police's time, right? Because we live in a world of just pure everybody giving each other the runaround and hypocrisy. Okay, so these people will never believe what they actually see. And by me warning people about it, people out there are going to make light of it, and they're going to think that I'm saying that tomorrow they're going to be foaming at the mouth, and I'm not saying that. But something is going to be activated. We all know that. Now, I'm going to play for you these news clips. Again, deflecting. I want you to see how they're deflecting about this. And this, you see the same trigger points where they're talking about how this is to protect you. Okay? We have had the emergency broadcast system for a while on the television set, right? We've had it, everybody's seen it and heard of it during their lifetime. Why have they never used it during things like September 11th then? Why have they never used it? They've been conditioning you for it, but they've never used it during actual emergencies in this country things you would consider an emergency. Have they? No, they have not. With the 11th of September, you think every news channel would have had an emergency broadcast on every station? It didn't. Why? Because they wanted to hit you with the propaganda. They wanted to hit you with their fake story about how it actually happened, right? How the demolition occurred. So they didn't do it. And they never are planning on doing it. Just like in Maui, they didn't sound any sirens for the people there at all. At all. And nobody's suspicious about it. Oh, now they want to run this because of what happened in Maui. Is that what they're going to tell you? No, I don't think so, because they had said that this was going to happen before that even occurred. So let's listen to FEMA tell us exactly what this is. Keep in mind, unique sound, not a regular text. It is a unique frequency. It's a different type of frequency pulse, something that you haven't had sent to your phone before. And listen to the zombies on the news actually joking about this.
Hi, I'm Deanne Criswell, Administrator of the Federal Emergency Management Agency. On October 4th, a test alert message will be sent to cell phones, televisions, and radios across the country at 2:20 p.m. Eastern Time. This is a part of our nationwide test of the wireless emergency alerts and the Emergency Alert System, also known as WEA. We recognize that in disasters, seconds count. Getting alerts out promptly to our communities saves lives. That's why FEMA is working with the Federal Communications Commission and your local public safety authorities on this test. We want to make sure that when it counts, we can keep you informed. Wireless providers that participate in WEA are required to deliver this test message, which will be accompanied by a unique tone and vibration. The test message will read, "This is a test of the National Wireless Emergency Alert System. No action is needed." The message will also display in Spanish for phones configured for that language. TV and radio broadcasters are required to deliver these test messages with a similar tone to the ones they use in their monthly tests. So please watch and listen for wireless emergency alerts on your mobile phones and EAS alerts on your televisions and radios. The next alert you receive could save your life or the life of ones you love.
That our phones are going to start going off at 2:20, so don't be alarmed. Don't be sitting around wherever you are, out at the bus stop or in the office, and everyone's like, meep, meep, meep.
And some folks probably already know about this because there's been a lot of talk on social media about this day, October 4th, and this test.
So FEMA, our Federal Emergency Management Agency, Federal Communications, will be sending out alerts to all of our media platforms, radio, cell phones, and television across the country.
All at the same time. So we want to bring in Dominic Morales, who's the Director of Philadelphia's Office of Emergency Management. and you are here to explain more about this test.
Yeah, absolutely. So today at 2:20, there will be, if you're near your cell phone, if you're near a television, or if you're near radio, you will hear a wireless emergency alert or the emergency alert system broadcast a very distinct tone, something we've all heard before, but also let you know that that is a nationwide test of this system.
Okay, and so how long will it go for about?
So the alert itself, the tone is only a second or two long. The alert will be active for a half hour, so perhaps your cell phone might not get it immediately, but between about 2:20 and 2:50 this afternoon here in the Philadelphia area, you should receive that alert as long as your phone is capable, your phone is on, and you're opted in.
Now, I'm sure you've heard on social media, and so many people, they have so many theories about what is actually happening with all our phones going off at the same time. What do you say to those folks who are concerned about what this might mean or what it could be doing?
Absolutely. We deal with all kinds of theories for the last few years and everything that we've done. And so it's something that we track really closely and we take seriously to make sure that folks are clear on what it is and what it isn't. This is a test of technology that you've already seen used in Amber Alerts, in severe weather alerts like tornadoes. Quite frankly, all of the theories that I've seen out there are just so beyond base.
They're not hacking into our phones. They're not taking over. They're not tracking us. They're not aliens that are coming into our phone. This is what we had when we had that water problem. I was out at a rowing event down at the river and everyone's phones go off. So this is something where you're letting us know, hey, there's water contamination. We should know it. Don't drink the water.
That's exactly right. So while this is a nationwide test, everyone in America should be seeing this at the same time. We've actually used this locally several times in the last few years here in Philadelphia. The Office of Emergency Management in particular has sent alerts for the potential chemical impact to the drinking water, has sent it for civil unrest in the past, and also for flooding during Hurricane Ida.
And it's interesting to know that for weather, that's a separate office. This is different. Now, are you the guy? Is it a button? Like, how does it work to send it off to everybody?
Yes, it's very exciting. You sit at a computer terminal, right? And you type in your message. You go through an authorization
no typos,
process.
Hopefully they spell check?
That's correct.
Okay.
Spell check is important. And then you hit send. And then at that point, there's a really complex network to make sure that not only does it go to your cell phone regardless of carrier and regardless of model, but it goes across any television station, any radio network all at the same time. So it really is an integrated network that you all are a part of, and we appreciate that you'll be carrying that test this afternoon.
So for the folks who are concerned, I mean, you're already getting the message. This is already something that's been happening. So at 2:19, where are you going to be?
At 2:19, I will be sitting anxiously in front of my two phones and in front of the television watching my local news station, waiting for that test to come in.
And if something happens and it's not able technology, because you never know, there's another date just in case?
Yes, if there is a real event that would impact the test going off today, God forbid there's some sort of significant national event, there is a rain date that's established.
Okay.
We appreciate it. Dominic, thank you so much. Yes. Don't be alarmed about the alarm.
Don't be alarmed.
Exactly.
It's okay.
So again, they talk about this stuff and they prepare people for it. And a zombie apocalypse, the predictive programming is there over and over and over. I showed you the clips yesterday. I put this clip up on my website. This is from 10 years ago. I just want everyone to see this, how they've been joking about the zombie apocalypse. I've used other clips and videos before. I haven't used this one. But they literally bring this up and they say, well, the government's been training it for a zombie apocalypse. And then they joke around. They're like, oh, it's just a basic training thing. And they're using zombies as an example. First of all, why would they even tell us this? Right? There's no need to ever talk about this. Most of the stuff the government does, they deem classified and they don't tell us. They only tell you if they want you to know it. Okay? So they put this out in front of our faces, mocking a zombie apocalypse and even telling us what places are going to be most vulnerable to it.
If you're the kind of person who strategizes about how to survive The Walking Dead, this could be crucial life-saving information. Researchers have rated the best and worst cities in the case of zombie apocalypse. Economic Modeling Specialists International ranked cities on their ability to defend against a zombie attack, stockpiling food, containing zombies, finding a cure. And if you live in New York City, hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you're toast. The city got the worst rating, followed by Tampa, Los Angeles, Riverside, and San Bernardino, California. Southern California really stinks. And Chicago. So the nation's three biggest cities, right? Best place to be? Boston. The city was rated as the place you most likely would survive. Other contenders here, Salt Lake City, Columbus, Baltimore, Virginia Beach, and Norfolk, Virginia. But, I just have a problem with this, right? Here I live in New York City, and I will admit that Manhattan may not be the best place to survive a zombie apocalypse. Number one, the food is going to go really fast. Number two, they can climb stairs. And as everyone knows, your buildings go up really high. But think if you live in Brooklyn, also part of New York City, or Staten Island. You could contain the threat to Manhattan and still have lots of farmland to grow food. I think if you live in Brooklyn, you'll be just fine. I'm not a scientist.
So these things are all done, obviously, to condition you, right? Predictive programming. How many clips did I use yesterday from movies like The Happening to the James Bond, where we've seen this type of technology unleashed, yet these people don't believe that this type of technology exists, and they're narcissists, remember, so they're never actually going to believe that they did the wrong thing or they did something stupid, that they're responsible for their own demise, and they're never going to connect the dots on this. So at this point, again, I only feel really bad for the teens who are not smart enough to make these types of decisions, and their parents are making it for them, or young kids. And these dumbed down narcissistic parents are the same ones who are acting as children instead of acting as adults and researching this stuff. Instead, they're spending their time collecting toys of their favorite, Star Wars movies from when they were a kid, instead of researching this stuff. And then they think they know the news and what's going on because they just happen to watch and listen to the news and then go and repeat it without doing any research themselves, because they say, well, these people who do research are all crazy nut jobs, because it's too much for them to wrap their brains around that our government would be doing this and all the governments around the world would be doing this to their own citizens. And they are. So to summarize here, okay, I believe fully that this is the frequency. And again, when this occurs, people aren't going to be foaming at the mouth. But what you need to keep in mind is that in the next few weeks, because some say it's a 5 to 10 day window, okay, I'm not exactly sure what the window is in dealing with Marburg. Excuse me, can't say that word. But I will tell you this. They will blame this on the next wave of the outbreak, and they'll just tell you it's an uptick in it. That's all you're going to hear. People are like, they're expecting something to happen, and then the news to broadcast this tonight and be like, zombie apocalypse, right? If anything, they'll be like, oh, nothing happened. See, these people are wrong, right? When all of us who understand are telling you that it's happening inside of you. And if the news never reports on it, and even if you specifically feel sick, you're not going to know that millions of other people are sick or feeling sick, because they're not going to tell you that they are. They're not going to report it on the news because they don't report truth on the news. And the only thing they'll tell you is they'll quietly start mentioning how there's an uptick in cases again. Oh, there's an uptick. Oh, better go get it. Oh, there's an uptick. Oh, so-and-so sick. And whoever has this is going to be diagnosed with the same thing they've been diagnosed with since 2021, which isn't the flu, but it's very, very close to it, right? And I can't say the word on here because I don't want people to connect the dots. But that's the only news that you'll hear. So don't listen to this stuff and then go, oh, look, see, nothing happened. How do you know nothing happened? Oh, I didn't see anything happen. Oh, well, nobody said people be dropping dead in the road. You're activating a virus inside your body. You're not going to see it, and the news isn't going to report on it. Okay? So take the proper precautions. Do some of the things that I said. I recommend that you do that. Watch the video I did yesterday. If you want to see the predictive programming clips, I was thinking about putting them back in here, but I don't want to be repetitive and make you see it again because a lot of you did watch that video. So watch the video. If you haven't yet, show people the predictive programming. And again, anyone out there, it's like, oh yeah, make sure your friends get it. Okay, because they're like, oh, okay, and then they're going to come and they're going to point at you and be like, you said this is going to happen. This isn't one of those events where something's going to happen that you're going to see. Something's going to happen inside of these people. And it's just going to be chalked up as another wave of the outbreak and these people getting sick from that. And we all know exactly what it is. So shut your phones off. Take the batteries out of your phone if you're able to take the batteries out of your phone. Wrap it in foil if you don't have a Faraday bag, and stay away from it. Keep your TVs off. Keep them unplugged. Keep your radio off. And I recommend reading the Bible during that hour. Why not? Okay, you don't want to go out for a hike. Maybe you're afraid you'll run into somebody who has a phone or 5G, whatever. Okay, why don't you read the Bible? If you don't want to turn the power off, that's fine. You don't have to do that. I'm just going above and beyond because, again, people are like, well, if you didn't take it, what are you nervous about? Well, I'm nervous about the oxide that's been put in the food and sprayed from the skies. I've covered it for years. And I'm not nervous. I'm not taking any chances. Why would I take a chance? I look at it as just, okay, well, I'm not going to be stupid. It's not like I have something planned at 2 to 3 o'clock where I'm like, I have to do this. Okay? I don't. So I'm not going to take any chances. And again, I know I'll be perfectly fine, obviously. And I know, I've taken many precautions over the years with NAC, et cetera, and other things I've talked about over on the website, Uprising Revival. And again, you go over there if you want to watch the video, if you want to have more of an understanding of what's going on. But you all know me pretty well. And those of you that don't, okay, I don't come on here and predict stuff. And I'm not making a prediction here. I'm telling you that I believe that this is the activation. I'm telling you this, and I've told you for years now what I believe was in here, all the videos I've done on Black Goo, et cetera, waiting for something to activate it. Some of us thought, did they already activate it? Did they do it silently? Why, do they need to do it nationally? How could they have sent a pulse in a different way? This seems to be it, because all the countries around the world are doing it at once. Russia just did it. The UK just did it. They're all doing it. What do you think? They're all doing it because they're preparing for everyone's going to attack each other? No, they're all attacking us. That's what's actually occurring. So take the proper precautions, be safe. And again, don't worry about the trolls and the people who actually can't listen to words and understand what anyone's saying. Just troll them back because they clearly don't have the attention span to realize that, you know, the zombie apocalypse that they've been talking about and mentioning it's already going on, but it's a metaphor for these people and what's going to happen to the insides of their bodies. And in some cases with IP36, which again is I636, so you have your 666s in there and your 33s, etc. If you're into the numerology side of things, that will literally cause people to have lobotomies. If you don't know what that disease is, you can look it up for yourself. I mean, I could read you, I'll just read you without showing you on the screen. IP36 deletion syndrome. It's a constitutional deletion of chromosome IP36 results in a syndrome with multiple congenital anomalies and mental retard. That's it. I'll leave the word there. And I'm sure you can figure out what that word was. Okay? So stay safe. I'll obviously be back doing videos later today. I'm not really, taking time away from doing content, but I will have the power off for a little period of time. And again, I recommend people check out the website if they haven't yet for more information. I'll be updating on some of the stuff that we see, because we're going to see massive deflection after this, and I want to cover that. We're going to see the mainstream media is going to, look, we're all fine, everything's okay, because that's the narrative they want to take and run with. Because these people are smart enough, and this weapon that they're using, they are very smart. They know that they can do this and get away with it. Because if they did this and they literally, I always talk about that, people expect them to come to your front doors with a gun. Well, then people would start being, not only be suspicious, they would rise up against it. Okay? They're literally doing this without any trace of them being, having their hands in it, where you can't be like, oh, you can't directly trace it. Now, you can trace it through patents and other things to these specific people and these, specific organizations like the WHO, etc. You can trace it to them, but you can't trace it to an exact individual in a sense. So they just go, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. That's just a theory, even though it's documented. They've documented these things. Okay? So everybody out there, if they can't see it directly with their own eyes, it's going to take literally, someone coming to their door and stabbing them for them to say, oh, so-and-so did this to me. Otherwise, they're just going to look at this and say, oh, I caught the you-know-what, and now I'm sick, and et cetera, et cetera. They will never believe it. So be safe, everybody. Thankful for everybody who's here. Appreciate you. God bless you and your families.